today I'm going to talk about body tracing, and I'm also going to talk about weaving with hands in contact. These are two really useful exercises and just things that I've used a lot that really embody the type of Poi Chi type of style that I've been talking about a lot. So the first piece is that body alignment. Once we have that, and once we have kind of lower center of gravity and momentum coming from the ground up instead of the hands down, but then being able to have your hands in contact either with each other or your body brings the control even more so into the core of your body. And I'll demonstrate what I mean. So most people, when they're doing a weave, and myself for a while, go like this, which is totally cool. But I want you to try to take your palms and clasp them together, and this is going to be a little harder if you use ball handles. It's a lot easier if you use loops, but you can still do it. Clasp your palms together, and the whole time it's kind of as if you're going to be giving a handshake, like a spinning handshake as you do your weave. I'll demonstrate what I mean. So as I go, I'm going to be doing my weave, kind of keeping my alignment and making the weave come from the lower center of gravity, so every time I shift my weight from foot to foot, and then as I do it, clasp my hands together and really try to be precise about keeping your palms in contact the entire time. And it should feel really nice. At first it might kind of get sloppy and hit you, but this is really emphasizing and making clear the point that now you have less control with your fingers and your hands and your arms, and more control with your hips and the rest of the lower body. And so, you can do this, and once you kind of have this in a pretty comfortable way, really checking that there's a consistency, clean planes, your hands are really together the whole time. Then try to move it around. So you do the same things you did when you first learned to weave. Move it up, move it down, move it in, move it out, and then move it around. You can do a full spin fountain, or you can do an anti-spin fountain. So that right there, it has this kind of sensual, fluid feeling as compared to having split arms and hands while doing all this stuff. So I encourage you to try that. And then this leads me into body tracing, which is really, I think, of just as an extension or development of that same thing. So let's say we start again with our hands in contact right here. But then what I can do is on one of the rotations, I can take one hand, and with my palm touching, this is super important, with my palm in contact the whole time, on the feet coming up, over. So say I'm doing forwards, same time, or split time, same direction weave. On the hand, when the hand is crossing over on top, it's going to, let's say my right hand right now, it's going to trace back and trace out. The whole entire time, keep in contact, and you should be able to grab an armpit hair and bring it out for yourself later. And you can try this with both hands. So left hand in, left hand out, right hand in, right hand out. And you can do it with the hand starting on top or the hand starting on bottom like that. And right now I'm doing it keeping the other arm straight. You can alternate, really trying to challenge myself to keep my palm in contact as much as I can, and remind myself to shift weight and to use all the principles that I've mentioned so far. And then of course, you can do it on the other side. And not only that, but now if you extend this into a fountain, as the hand comes, let's say a spin fountain first. Say I'm doing forwards and I'm spinning, I'm going to do a spin fountain going in this direction. And what I'm going to do is on the down, going down through my center, I'm going to come under with my right hand to my armpit, and I'll demonstrate once. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go over, back, and down, and up, and up. The whole time, keeping my hand in contact. It's kind of split up into quadrants. I have this corner that I can go back and forth on. And then from here, I have this corner that I can go back and forth on. And this is alternating between spin and then the anti-spin. So up, and then I have this quadrant, back and forth. And then I have this quadrant, back and forth. So when you put them together, you can do spin or anti-spin in either direction, and with a sense of fluidity and hopefully some weight shift, which I was kind of neglecting at that time. The final part is that now this can develop even more so, and if you think about your body as a series of lines, so I have this line, I have this line, and I have the quadrants of space in front and behind it. So I have like this whole area, my left front, my right front, my right rear, and my left rear. So what I can do now is, as long as my hands get comfortable with these positions, especially over the shoulder and under the shoulder, over shoulder, under shoulder, and then lastly around the waist. So doing this type of hip reel motion, of being in contact and using the hips to rotate them, move back and forth. But then I can just use, and also finally, if you'd like to challenge yourself, also taking this position here, over the neck, around the head, and being able to really stay in contact that whole time. And so this is kind of develops out of, you can take now a meltdown where your hands are in contact the whole time and you're just circling around yourself. And at any time you can bring a hand up or just to here, you can just kind of rotate in between, as long as you keep your palms in contact, weight shifted, and basically improvise as you go, making sure to constantly keep contact and just explore the lines of your body as you go. And you can kind of have this idea of hand timing. So for example, I could have same time hands as I go down these lines, or I could have split time hands as I switch, alternate. And then with that, I have the same timing options with my poi. So with the same time, split same time, or same direction, split time poi, and same and split same direction with my hands, it would look like this. And that's a very kind of simple thing. That was done with no weight shift, so now you could try to develop it a little further and drop it down and go like this. So you have a little bit of this like twisting rotation coming out, and that feels really good. I love that move. So say then we had same time with our hands, so going like this, and opposite same time, opposite direction split, or same time with our poi. That would look like this. You come in. I'm really trying, this one's harder to do it with, I'm trying to keep my hands in contact as much as I can on the way up and on the way down. And sometimes I'll hit myself and sometimes I won't make it. But that's my goal. You could also then, come in on these lines and have this position, which is a little bit less of body tracer, but it still has the same types of positions. Finally, you could have some of my favorite is if you're in meltdowns. So right now they're both at the bottom, both my hands, and my poi going in split same. And then on one of the sides that I hit, so boom or boom, I'm going to choose to bring one hand up. So this will be a split time with my hand movement. So I'm going to go up to there and back down, or up there and back down. Or I could do them both at the same time, which would be up, there, back down. And then from there, it's just up to me of what variations I want to make. I can also use, combinations of these two positions. You could like be here, or you could, let's see, you could be, make it even more awkward and uncomfortable. So it's kind of choose your own challenge and play with it a lot. And then of course you can integrate turning your body, which is super important. So for example, with this movement you could go 1, 2. Because sometimes coming one direction will work, but then if you try to go the other direction, it's going to feel really awkward and might not work so well, because your arms don't want to bend in that particular way. So to do that, you either have to figure out a way to smooth it out for yourself, or just turn and make it even out on the other side. And I think that's about it. Enjoy.